Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today the video we're filming is books that we think are sort of similar to Verity by Colleen Hoover. I know that that book is kind of blowing up right now because of book talk. Now, when we say they're similar, we don't mean like the storyline is necessarily similar. There's just aspects of it that are, meaning like if you read Verity and you liked it, you'll probably like these books for those aspects.
Yeah, I think I want to be very clear that for me, there's really not another book that really stood up to Verity still to this day. Like, it was such a unique read, and I think there's a lot of other psychological thrillers that hit for me on the same level, but it's just not quite the same. But that's kind of like, if you enjoyed that one, I think you're gonna enjoy the same kind of ride that these books took you on.
Yeah.
So yeah, not quite the same, but definitely
So
up your alley.
Yeah.
Up your alley. Yeah. Because this is the one that I recommend to literally everyone who asks me for a recommendation for Verity. People will come in all the time and be like, I just finished Verity. I don't know where to go from here. I need something.
Yeah.
My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. It's top tier for me. Like a 5-star read. I absolutely blew through this book in like 2 days. Could not stop reading it. I had to know what happened next. And even when I thought I had it figured out, I was totally blindsided by the ending. Like, just could not put it down. Have you even read this? Didn't think so.
I need to. Well,
You do?
It's supposed to be October and I want to read a lot of thrillers, so that'll probably be the one that I read.
Bingo!
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. I really, really loved it.
Yeah. The first one I want to talk about is what I'd probably say is the most similar to Verity, and it's The Ghostwriter by Alessandra Torre. Literally, it's just like the same aspect where there is somebody ghostwriting a book for somebody and they are kind of figuring out their past along with the reader. So it's sort of like the same thing as Verity, where the chapters alternate, where you get a chapter of present and then a chapter of the past, and you're kind of reacting along with the narrator. Very similar. Now, I will say that like the storylines as far as like what happened in the past aren't similar, but with the ghostwriter, basically the person ghostwriting the book for this person is figuring out the true story of how this woman's husband and child died. And like I said, you as the reader are learning it along with the narrator, which I think is a really cool aspect and very Verity-esque. So I think that if you liked Verity, you'll definitely want to pick that one up.
I have to second that.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, like you said, is probably the closest because of the way it was written.
Yeah.
And the plot of it. Like the writing, the similar storyline.
Right. It's less of like, obviously with Verity, she's considered like, I don't know, not brain dead, but you know what I mean. Like she's
a vegetative state.
Yeah, she's unable to do, and it's not the same in the Ghostwriter. Basically, if I remember correctly, she has a brain tumor, something where she's sick and she's deteriorating, and that's why she has somebody writing. So she is still up, moving, talking.
Cancer?
I thought she had a brain tumor. Yeah. But she's deteriorating, and that's why she hired a ghostwriter. So it's similar, or it's different in that sense, but it's similar in the sense that like literally anything else. So
yeah. I don't think I have anything on my list that's as similar as that.
Yeah.
I honestly, I could not think of one that would be as close to Verity is, The Ghostwriter. Yeah. So yeah, that's a fantastic recommendation.
I can't remember which one I read
so
first,
good.
but either one I read after, I was like, oh, this is just like.
I know I read The Ghostwriter after Verity.
Okay. I want to say I did too, but
yeah, it's really good. So the next one I wanted to point out was kind of more like on the creepy, really disturbed me, kind of unsettling, not really knowing who your narrator is, and more on like the creepy kid aspect. Because Crew still freaks me out to this day.
Listen,
I don't care what you say about
a
him.
creepy kid.
It just creeps me out.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Kevin by Lionel Shriver. There's also a movie about this book. I'm telling you, you gotta read this book. So unsettling, so disturbing, but also so good. And literally all I'm gonna say about it. It's just
With some of these thrillers, it's better to like go in blind, you know?
it came really, really highly recommended, and I will continue to recommend it to people because
Yeah.
it was really good. That was another one that I flew through because I was like, seriously, what is this? What happened? And it also kind of tests that theory of like nature versus nurture.
Yes.
That's such an interesting question to me.
Yeah. Next one I have is one that we've talked about a lot. It's Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Roble. The reason I put this on the list is because it's the same sort of thing where there is, you don't know that the narrator's super reliable.
It's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah. And I'd wager that Verity is actually a dual point of view because you're getting a lot of Verity's point of view and like the entries, the like, you know, written entries.
You are.
And Darling Rose Gold is a dual point of view as well. But you kind of don't, it's the same thing with Verity where you don't know which one you trust. Like they're kind of telling two different stories or they have two different recollections and you don't know which one to trust. So that's why I added it to the list.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And with Darling Rose Gold, you still kind of come out at the end and you still don't really know.
And same with Verity. At the end, like you could, I mean, I know, but no. We all have our theories, too. But yeah, you don't know at the end who is really the reliable one.
Okay, so the next one that I added on the list is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough, which also got a show. Is it a show? Or
yeah, I think it's a miniseries, right?
It was a miniseries, yeah. This one also, so this one was kind of strange for me because I was like halfway through this book, maybe further, maybe like 60% through this book, and I was really bored. I had to tell you, I was like ready to almost DNF it. And then it really turned around for me and blew me away. And I was like wholeheartedly could not stop thinking about this book. Went and watched the miniseries like immediately when I finished it, which I do not do. Like, first of all, I'm not a big person with on-screen adaptations because I'm convinced they don't ever do them right and just they don't ever make me happy. It's hard to make me happy anyways, but I mean, they just don't.
Yeah.
So I usually kind of delay watching it anyways, and then I eventually give in. But I mean, I jumped right to it because I felt like I just wanted to experience it all over, and I just wanted more. Especially from going from like such a slow, like practically not even wanting to do it, to just being like really blown away and thinking about it for such a long time. So kind of that aspect of such the shock, that's kind of why I put it on here, because just had me thinking about it for days and days and days.
Yeah.
Verity. I still think about it years later.
I never read that one.
You're just so behind.
I really am. Listen,
psychological thrillers.
Listen, I always say I want all the book recommendations, but then you recommend something and I don't read it. Last one I have on my list that's similar, and you're like, anyway, moving on.
I just ignore it. It's fine.
The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher. The reason I put this one on is because it is the same in the aspect that your narrator it's like from the point of view of somebody who's learning family secrets, and you're like learning it along with them.
Okay, so that's like a good point.
Somebody removed from the family who is learning the secrets. And learning it in ways of like some of it is written and some of it, like they're doing their own investigating and learning things that way.
Yeah.
I would say it's not as twisty and shocking as Verity is.
No.
But it's still got, if that's like an aspect that you like, is like learning along with the narrator, that one's a good one.
There's little nuggets in that one too that you have to really pay attention to because they're easy to miss if you're not really paying attention to them.
Yeah.
So that's what I really love. I really love that about Taryn's writing, is because there's so many little nuggets in there that you gotta really pay attention to.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. The last one I wanted to talk about is one that we've both talked about, The Rules of Birkin by Tracy Finlay. This one was just a ride. That's why I wanted to put it on here.
Killer debut novel.
Just killer debut novel. Something just completely unique. Never read anything like that. Like really out there. Like just, can somebody be that crazy?
Unhinged.
Like,
and once again,
unhinged.
narrator figuring shit out right along with the reader.
Right.
It's less of like a telling a story and then being like, oh, this and this, and then like, you know, there's different ways to tell stories, and like sometimes it's like very much telling a story that has happened and that's how it reads, but like these all read in the sense that like the narrator doesn't know what's going on and neither does the reader, and sometimes the reader knows before the narrator, and so that sort of thing.
And it's very much that roller coaster.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like that roller coaster is almost like sliding backwards. Like you almost don't even get up that incline.
Yeah.
Because as you said, like the narrator's finding out before the character. And this was almost one of those because he really was unhinged.
Very.
And this one just...
And then you delve into their past and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of similar.
Yeah. I really, really liked this one.
Yeah. We talked about it a lot when we first read it.
Yeah. We did a book battle on this one. So yeah, you should go check that one out. Well, I highly recommend anything by her. But that's from with most of these authors.
With the exception of Stephanie Roble. She's one for one.
Yeah, she's one for one with us. 1 for 2, yeah, with us right now. Sorry. All right, so that's what we have for you. Comment down below and let us know if you've read any of these, and hit that like button and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we post next. Bye.